Mighty Radio.
Welcome, everyone. This is 5 Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me is my in-studio co-host, Albert Cita. And on the phone, where you at now, Guillermo? Guillermo Cita, where you at?
Georgia. Sweet Georgia. Trying to look for
I have
some
never heard that
peaches.
song in my
I know.
life.
This is a good. I don't know if you guys listen to some super indie alternative rock. The Mountain Goats have a really good song called "Going to Georgia."
It's probably from country song, bro. Come on.
So what
What's
do you?
the one about the devil
Indie
who
rock.
plays the guitar? Or
No,
something?
that's the Devil Went Down.
Yeah, actually, I heard that song yesterday.
So what are you on a little family vacation or what?
Yeah, we came up for Labor Day weekend, and we're a couple state parks. We went to Stone Mountain, and then now Fall Hills or Hill Falls or something like that.
The Hillside Lies.
Look at that, Guillermo Cita.
There you go.
National Lampoon's Cita Vacation, right?
Short family vacation,
There
but yeah.
we go. We got a lot to talk about this week. Not so well. A lot. I always say that, but UFC returned to MMA after the McGregor-Mayweather fight. Jon Jones passing a blood test. Rory Mac accusing Robbie Lawler of using PEDs when they fought, and a UFC 215 preview. And also, we'll just shoot the breeze for one round as well. So let's get started with round number one, gentlemen. UFC returned to its regularly scheduled programming on Saturday with the Fight Night card, or exclusively Fight Pass card, in was it the Netherlands, Rotterdam, Netherlands. Heavyweight bout between Stefan Struve and Alexander Volkov.
I see what you're trying to do there, Dana. I see what you're trying to do there.
Just kind of ease everybody in.
Back in. I see that.
Yeah.
It's that way when you start. If you would have made a big event, pay-per-view, or even on Fox Sports 1,
yeah,
the talk would have been the ratings compared to the Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah.
And you don't want that in your
So this
in
is
your
kind
life.
of a random Fight Pass fight. If you saw it, you didn't see it because it happened I think 12 o'clock Pacific time. So in the middle of the day. So but Volkov, I want to ask you guys here. This is his second consecutive win in the UFC. He defeated. He actually sent Roy Nelson packing to Bellator, and then he just knocked out Stefan Struve. But he's also actually on a 5-fight win streak. We got 1, 2, 3. I'm on Wikipedia. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so he's now actually 3-0 in the UFC. Guillermo Cita, I know we always talk about the lack of depth in the heavyweight division. Is Volkov kind of the secret?
I wouldn't say secret. I would say more of infusion of fresh blood, because I don't know his age. Albert, you have Wikipedia out. I don't know how young this guy
Alex
is.
has that wiki right now.
28 years old.
28. All right, so they're actually pretty young. My thing is, if had Stefan Struve won this fight, would we really be excited for the re-rise, which he never rose to begin with, of Stefan Struve? Or, this new blood, he beat Roy Nelson, like you said, and now Stefan Struve. Now, I think it's time to start welcoming him to some of these, what you guys used to call it, gatekeepers, to the top 10. I think it's that point. I think he already beat some of the gatekeepers in the top 10. So now let's start feeding him some of the lower top 10 guys and see what he's really made of. But yeah, I'm excited. You talk about him, you talk about Ngannou, you talk about Derrick Lewis. Some of these guys that haven't been as long in the UFC compared to some of these other guys that kind of seem washed out, if you ask me. Aren't we tired of seeing Verdum? Are we tired of seeing Junior Dos Santos?
Yes.
Some of these guys for years on end and still there?
I am. Albert, what do you think?
I am not tired of Overeem. I'll tell you that right now.
That's another one. I forgot to mention Overeem. Gotta get that guy out of there.
I'll see the Reem all day long, homie. One of the best YouTube series out there. If you follow MMA fighters, that's one to check out.
Yeah.
The Reem. It's legit. The videography is awesome. But with that said, wow. I'm just glad that the heavyweight division is somewhat interesting again.
It's not interesting. You're
not interesting. We get some new matchup. We get some fresh new matchup.
Yeah, you get new matchups, but
you said we got some
you really
Derrick
think this
Lewis
guy's
in
a threat?
there?
I don't think he's a threat by beating Stefan Struve. Who hasn't beat Stefan Struve? Let's be honest.
Oh, who hasn't beat who? Come on, we can go in circles with this conversation.
Wasn't that Mark Hunt?
We can go in this conversation in circles. Mark Hunt beat this guy. That guy beat Mark Hunt. That
I'm looking at the current rankings, and this is before they do that with the Tuesday or Wednesday kind of reshuffling after a major event. And Volkov is currently ranked number 7. As far as maybe name wise, Guillermo, Travis Brown is ranked.
He's still ranked
13.
Okay.
So maybe as far as the name recognition,
I was about to say, no way.
would that be a good fight for Alexander to
Yes.
to maybe get on a poster maybe for future in
Look,
America, anyways?
The Bellator roster needs to be filled up. Travis Browning's another good one to send over.
Not with this current marriage to Mr. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Mr. Ronda Rousey I think is safe as long as Dana White feels there's a slight chance that Ronda may return to the UFC. But
all I'm saying is, Albert, hold your horses a bit. I mean, yes, it was a great win for him against Stephen Struve. Let's not open the golden doors for this guy just yet. You know, there's guys above him like Ngannou and Derrick Lewis that have really proven to belong there.
Is my number one dog out there.
Yeah.
That's my boy right there. That's who I got banking all my money for in the heavyweight division right now.
Yeah, already has his piggy bank saved up for the Predator.
I'm gonna bet my house on it when Francis Ngannou goes for the belt.
Also on this card, was it women's bantamweight fight between Marion Renault and Tatiana Bernardo? That was pretty good. But other than that, it was a lot of it was heavy on the European side, I think. Yeah, it was pretty much all the main event. That was about it. Like I said, the UFC snuck this in on the Fight Pass app.
He's in there. Remind us that UFC is
we
still
do MMA.
an organization.
But yeah, I'm excited. Honestly, every time I see Stephen Struve fight, I get nervous for the guy. I mean, people are talking kind of like, Antonio Bigfoot Silva needs to retire because he's doing kickboxing now, but he gets knocked out every time. But isn't the same thing for Stephen Struve? I mean, this guy has had health issues in the past, and he just seems like he's thrown in there.
He has some of the. He's been on the side of some vicious knocks.
When he gets knocked out, he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
It's never like a TKO. It's always like a straight cold knockout.
I think they still have one of the highlights still there for one of his when he got knocked out.
Didn't Mark Hunt break his jaw after one punch? But I think it's going to be good. I think, like I said, we have at least, like Guillermo said, 3 clear young heavyweights that are kind of distance themselves from the rest of the pack. You got Ngannou, Hunt, and Volkov. Actually, Hunt. Have you seen? Derrick Lewis. Have you seen Derrick Lewis like saving people over in Houston and Hurricane?
Yeah, I saw that. He was all over.
Gee, homie.
It's like, who's this giant man just carrying people and it's all UFC fighter Derrick Lewis.
He's a social media murderer and he's a superhero in real life.
If you're at the UFC, why don't you just jump all over that? Their whole WMING, whatever. Why don't they just get on top of this and promote this like crazy? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're post Conor McGregor now. Get this guy. People, this is like a great story. So I haven't seen anything on the news outlets wise. It's pretty much all on social media. But that's pretty awesome that Derrick Lewis, and he's like super good. This is my town. I'm from Houston. I'm gonna do what I can. I thought it was pretty amazing. But and people think he's just like funny and just hitting on Ron Rousey all the time.
He has a heart.
He's a heart. How much time we got, Albert?
Oh, that's it. We've been waiting.
Oh, we've been over.
Yeah.
That's it for round number 1. So we're gonna come back and talk about Jon Jones passing his blood test, and even had some of the representatives from the USADA kind of confused about this. So we're gonna kind of dive into that. But before we do that, let's talk about one of our great sponsors, great partners at 5 Rounds Clothing. 5 Rounds Clothing offers a unique collection of apparel and accessories by incorporating the culture, style, and attitude of MMA. They are constantly evolving and improving to become the best fightwear company in the mixed martial arts world. Check their line of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other great accessories at 5rounds.net. That's number 5rounds.net. Follow them on Twitter at 5roundswear and on Instagram at 5rounds_. Get it on. Stick around. Coming up next. Welcome back. Time for round number 2. So the situation with Jon Jones gets a little bit trickier, as it was reported this week that he actually passed a drug test or blood test post UFC 214. So his recent flagging was for a urine test that he failed after the weigh-ins, or after the fight?
I think it was after the weigh-ins.
After the weigh-ins, but he passed a blood test after the fight. Is that how it? Something like that. Yeah. So, even one of the I don't even know. I mean, people are saying conspiracy. People are saying like it's just due.
But keep in mind, the one he got caught with was one that goes away in 2 days.
Yeah.
So if he passed the one after the fight, that means clearly he didn't have nothing in his system by then.
Yeah.
We're talking about leading up to the fight in the days before the fight.
Yeah. So, Guillermo, what do you make of this?
I was waiting for Albert. The thing is, this is why you do due process, because people start doing judgment and, why hasn't he, fess up to anything or what tainted stuff? Let the court, let this, all come out first. Let the investigation complete before we start doing judgment on this guy. I mean, what if it comes back that they made a mistake?
Yeah.
You get me? And then here we are, telling like this is the worst mistake that, fighter, 30 for 30 already for Jon Jones and his potential of being the best fighter of all time and stuff like that. It's like, dude, relax.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's give everybody their due process. Maybe he is guilty, but let's not jump into the conclusion until we get all the facts. Now,
But
even the USADA people are kind of confused as well. I heard Chael Sonnen the other day.
No. At the same time, I hate to interrupt you, but just because you need to know.
Yeah, but if you show up to my house with bloody hands, you want me to?
In each one, picks up a different thing. So I think the thing that he got caught with doesn't come up in the test they took afterwards anyways.
I think they did clarify that they do test for that. They look for that, what he failed for, but I don't know why it came up. But so I said it was USADA official. Actually, MMA Junkie spoke to a California State Athletic Executive, Andy Foster, and he said, quote, what did he say here? Hold on. Here we go. He said, hold on, sorry. So, anyways, keep talking. I got to find that quote.
Oh, okay. Well, what I was going to say is if Chael Sonnen just did an interview not too long ago with the MMA Hour, and he says, man, whatever Jon Jones is taking, first of all, what he was caught with is not even one of the most, it's like the 8th best, it's not even the best steroid you can possibly find.
Yeah.
But whatever he's taking is really, really good stuff to keep it hidden. Because, from one Jew said to another, is what he was mentioning, is they're getting better at trying to hide these things. So at the same time, it feels, I guess, more understanding wise when you hear from someone that actually does it.
Yeah.
That how it's possible for him to hide it. But at the same time, I mean, like, what if there was a mistake somewhere along the line, and we already condemned Jon Jones.
Yeah, and then Foster actually was very blunt to MMA Junkie. He said that, quote, at this point, one of two things is probably going on here. He's either extremely careless, speaking of Jones, or he's a cheater. I know he's already been extremely careless once in his career, but none of this makes any sense. That's why I think it's very important that we vet this and look at all available evidence before we jump to conclusions and hang this guy out to dry. I mean, how many times?
At this point, if I'm Jon Jones, I terminate my UFC contract and I go to Bellator. Say, screw you, Dana White.
Yeah, I mean, but how many times?
That doesn't give away the suspension.
Yeah. But I mean, how many times?
It doesn't. But what if he's not found guilty?
But we hear all the time in other sports that advancements in these methods that these athletes use are always ahead of the testing.
Yeah.
So what's to say that Jon Jones found something that maybe got ahead of the testing process? So from what I heard all the time in the Olympics is that the testing process is always behind the athletes because it's like they're looking for ways to get ahead 24/7, and these USADA, the World Athletic Commission, they can't test what they don't know, type of thing, right? So maybe Jones found a way to do something. I don't know. So I mean, like I said, it's all due process. Maybe.
But I don't get it. Jon Jones doesn't need this.
Yeah, no.
You don't know that.
Dude, he's too good.
You don't know that. His martial arts skills might be that good, but maybe he needs that edge to keep up with these bigger, stronger fighters, Guillermo.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, DC is, I wouldn't say, I mean, yes, a bigger fighter weight-wise, but I mean, like, you saw the fight, dude. Jon Jones looked like a monster compared to him still.
It could have been also roids that helped him look like a monster in that fight.
I'm gonna do an analogy here of you comic book fans. Remember Captain America? The heart was all there, the courage, the willingness to do.
The biggest steroid user there is, Captain America. That scumbag.
But look, like it was all there for him, right? He had the heart, he had the courage, he had the will, but he just couldn't physically do it until he got that serum or whatever,
and
right?
Plus, Guillermo, no one has, even if you were to take someone like Barry Bonds, no one has ever denied Barry Bonds' talent.
Yeah.
But everyone says it. If it wasn't for his use of enhancements, he wouldn't be the legend that he made his legacy on.
In quotes.
Yeah.
I honestly, the best comparison I can make of is probably Alex Rodriguez, who this kid, he was a prodigy and a teenager. He didn't need PEDs, but somewhere along his line, his self-consciousness, his his insecurity got to him. So where he, I need this stuff to become even better than I am now. And that's just kind of disappointing. Like, you didn't need this stuff, bro. Why are you taking it? But he took it and got a $250 million contract from the Texas Rangers and became one of the richest, baseball players ever. I mean, now it is what it is now. But I mean, I hate that saying, but that's what A-Rod Jones. Physically, you guys don't need it because your abilities are there, but you take it anyways because it's either everybody else is doing it or you want that another inch advantage from somebody else. But even though you're so far ahead of the next person behind you, but we'll see. I mean, he said even Daniel Cormier said I can't say anything until it's all said and done. Jon Jones deserves his due process. I mean, this is I think we'll give it a win to Jon Jones in his camp, I guess, this time. So we're at 1-1 now after 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for round number 2. We're going to come back and talk about more PED accusations from other fighters. Before that, talk about one of our great new partners at Mobilitas. Mobility tools, the best mobility tools on the planet. Durable, portable, myofascial release products designed with more grip to help you improve performance and recover faster. Visit yourjointshouldn'thurt.com. That's yourjointshouldn'thurt.com for more information and see all their great line of products. They're also on Instagram at Mobilitas. Like them on Facebook and visit youtube.com/yourjointshouldn'thurt for great tutorials on how to get the best workout possible and recover faster. Round 3 coming up next. Welcome back. Time for round number 3. So, our old listeners, if you listened to the show before, you know that Rory Mac, the Red King, Canadian Psycho,
and the Red Queen, the biggest excuse maker in the planet,
is a popular topic on this show. Albert's been a big fan of his since I don't even know since forever. And
talk about being this.
Since I found out what type of hair gel the guy uses, I've been a fan.
So he was doing a Reddit AMA, which is all your questions, whatever, or ask me anything, right? Reddit AMA.
I always go on and never ask anything.
Just see what they have. I guess somebody asked him if Rory MacDonald thought Robbie Lawler was on
sore loser
on PEDs the night they fought in 2015, that epic battle. That's probably one of the best fights in UFC history. And then Rory MacDonald answered in all caps, quote, "I'm convinced he was."
Dun, dun, dun.
So, again, what you're saying here, it's just kind of like a sore loser for Rory Mac. Albert, what do you think?
I'm just sore in general because I don't think that's right, man. My boy, the Red King, got his kingdom taken away over someone that allegedly cheated, and that leaves a bad taste.
Allegedly,
I don't like it. I think Rory MacDonald should have been champion a long time ago, and after hearing this, that really upsets me because he would have been.
Where are the sources? Where are the sources?
So
Rory MacDonald himself, bro.
So, nah, man, he has no proof.
Yeah,
it's like me.
They all know. Come on, Guillermo. Let's keep it real. When you're on the inside, you know. Don't act like you don't know, but you know.
There's also a big...
Hey, just for our listeners, Albert went to the premiere of Batman vs Superman.
That's a lie.
No, it's not. That's some inside scoop. Rumors and speculation start.
So now it's actually the burden's on you to prove it now that you didn't go to that.
Man,
but now the burden is on the Red King to show me proof.
I don't know anything about that movie.
So actually, Guillermo, here's a big Grand Canyon sized plot hole in Rory Mac's accusation. I guess the bout took place in July 2015, which is actually just weeks after the U.S. USADA took place. So everybody came back clean. So
yeah, but keep in mind, like you said, the testing's always behind the actual thing, and it was at the very beginning. So we don't know
what they're looking for, right?
What if the next section of testings, now they finally figured out how to get whatever was out there,
especially with Rory MacDonald.
Exactly.
Robbie Lawler was using. I think it's funny. I think even Machida came out too and said recently. I forgot I have the quote here, but he said like how his current 2-year suspension has him looking at other fighters differently. How not to judge them right away because hey, if I can get caught,
but
wink, anybody can get caught.
But I think the big difference is Machida turned himself in.
Yeah.
Because he saw something that was in the ban list before. He's like, oh, hey, you know what? I was taking that. So
Robbie Lawler should turn himself in, even though he knows he probably didn't do nothing. Because according to Albert,
Machida actually knew. He actually confessed and said, "Look, I took that banned substance that wasn't banned the year before, and now it is." Mm-hmm. So more props to Machida, bro, because he's an honorable man with ethics and decided instead of
this is the problem I have with Albert.
He would just go and turn himself in. That's the difference, bro.
It's the dragon.
This is the problem I have with Albert. Don't you guys all notice the favoritism that this guy has? It's okay for one person to do
the fact is that he can't turn himself in. That's a fact, Guillermo. That's not an opinion.
Also, Barry Bonds gets condemned. Alex Rodriguez gets condemned, even though they both, or at least Barry Bonds didn't admit to it until he was found. But A-Rod did ESPN special to say that he did it.
See, Guillermo, this is why I agree with Stephen A. Smith all the time. Because people keep take what he says sometimes as opinions, but they're just hard facts. It's the way he says it. That's what you're messing up here, Guillermo.
It's all about delivery.
It's all on the you think I'm like favoring Machida, but when I'm just throwing facts at you, he was the one that told himself he didn't get caught. He told on himself. He's the one that said, "Look, I took this man's substance.
This isn't a show about facts,
before."
This is a show about opinions. What's your opinion on Machida, and what's your
awesome.
opinion
He's amazing.
on Jon
He's a man
Jones?
with integrity.
Yes. We don't facts. We're facts here. It's all our opinions. We're not
Dude,
experts
you guys
in
are
anything
reading
here.
off Wikipedia and you want to talk about facts.
We're not experts. We don't pretend to be experts in anything here. That's it for round number 3, right? We're doing it.
No, we still got 20 more seconds to talk
20
about
more
Machida,
seconds, wow.
about the dragon, the man, the myth. Just to let you know, just Guillermo, just to show you how
20 seconds.
how me and Machida do have a connection. Just so you know,
drink
this
on
is gonna
urine
be
too, is
the
that what it is?
third time he's gonna fight either near my birthday or on my birthday. He always fights near October 27th because he knows what's up. He feels the good chi that I'm throwing out there
I'm sure he's
to
thinking
my
of
boy
you. He's
Machida.
probably thinking of you a lot. That's why. That's it for round number 3. We're going to come back, take a small break, and enter the championship rounds. Before this, talk about Redemption Martial Arts. Our great partners at the RMA Foundation is a non-profit organization with the primary goal of bringing awareness to the bullying epidemic and providing people with accessible training and resources to help them combat bullying confrontations. Team RMA consists of individuals from all walks of life who share a common passion for making a difference and serving as anti-bullying activists. If you're interested in being a team member of RMA or want more information, visit redemptionmartialarts.com and find them on all forms of social media. Everyone rise up against bullying. Championship rounds coming up next. Welcome back. Time for round number 4. This is going to be a little more freestyle sparring session here for round number 4. I'm going to give a big shout out real quick to Fightbook MMA. They hooked us up and got us access to King of the Cage this past Saturday. Never Quit, which is featured live on MAV TV. Main event between Juan Archuleta and Adel Atami, which is
Do you want to give us a little bit of background on their boy?
Juan Archuleta?
Yeah.
He after Saturday,
This is the second time we cover him.
he defeated Adel for the King of the Cage Junior welterweight title. So now he's a 4-division champion in King of the Cage. He has Joe Daddy Stevens in his corner, TJ Dillashaw in his corner. So he's one of those kind of up north, kind of Central California type of fighters. Ground and pounder, man. The guy is vicious. I think it's pretty much a matter of time before. I think now he has the option to KUFC. I'm ready to go through now. Type of thing.
You think so?
I think so. But as of right now, he said he's like, I love King of the Cage. They're taking care of him. A 4-division champion. I mean, at this point, I think they're just fighting people from the fight because he's that good. We also have strawweight standout Cynthia Sin Acero was amazing. She's almost like a female version of Machida. That's how light.
You already sold me, bro.
Almost
Sold
like she
me,
reminds me so much of like the style of Machida at Wonder Boy, where on her light
Love
on her
it.
feet, bouncing up and down, lunging in for strikes. Just dangerous. 115. I think she had a title shot coming out next. Actually, we're going to be working on getting some of the fighters from that Never Quit card and on the show, so we can just get the thoughts and perspective on how the performance did. But a big shout out to King of the Cage. It was a great.
A positive comment. It trusts me. I mean, no negative. I really hope King Cage goes away from naming their events now.
Yeah, just
I
like
was
numbers.
I was never a fan when UFC did it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan actually. WWE should technically only have like 3 named events, and everything else should just be some, WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of those names anymore.
Because that's why you kind of run out of stuff, right? Yeah. So, anyways, hey, Guillermo, so you weren't here last week when we had our Mayweather-McGregor recap show. So, what are your thoughts on it, man? I think.
Thank God I didn't pay $100. What a waste of time. Why did I even stay up? Mayweather, just like every other,
what could have been worse,
every
Guillermo?
other expert.
You could have streamed
they
it
were
from
right.
Showtime or UFC Fight Pass and got cut off, right? So at least you didn't do that.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, I should have just listened to the experts. I mean, this is so one-sided. I don't care what Albert says. That fight ended in the second round, maybe possibly the third round. Was the last time I saw McGregor actually do something successful in the boxing ring. But other than that, I mean, it was more Mayweather playing with his food and picking the shots that he wanted to. But more power to McGregor. He stepped in there.
Watching Max Kellerman on ESPN, bro.
What? Max Kellerman was 100% right. You obviously weren't watching his first take. Even your boy Stephen A. Smith was agreeing with Max Kellerman.
First of all,
and
Stephen A.
we
Smith
took
has
it for
never been
granted.
my boy.
We
And never will be.
bought.
You said he agreed with it.
I was just making a
Go back one round, everybody. Call it out.
What?
I mean,
Never have I ever said that.
everybody go rewind and go back to the third round and so we see what Albert said and put in the comments.
and I bet you anything, Albert had the fight like pretty close, even up to the 9th round.
I had Mayweather winning by
the
one
judges
round.
can go either way on it. I bet you anything. That's what the hell was going through his head watching the
I'm not
fight,
biased,
which is
that's why.
ludicrous. It was so
I'm not a
ludicrous. It was so
boxing snob, I see it
one-sided.
for what it is.
Okay, so Guillermo, but as a fight, it would maybe, but as a spectacle, did you enjoy it?
As a spectacle, yes. I mean, like, do you got to give McGregor props because he did better than what we expected? Of course. Was it successful in terms of people tuning in? What people didn't want to buy this thing, but I bet you a lot of people did. At the end of the day, so they were drinking the Kool-Aid. Obviously, Albert was too.
I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not even done with it. I made gallons of Kool-Aid, and I'm still drinking.
But was it a success, Alex?
Also Irish coffee as
If
well.
you're asking me that question, Alex, of course. I think that it was a positive for both boxing and MMA. Just that the event took place. But now, if you're talking about competitively, what transpired inside the boxing ring, it was one-sided.
Let's just say this, Guillermo. From now on, the only whiskey I'm drinking is Notorious by Conor McGregor.
Is that a real whiskey?
Oh,
No,
God.
yeah, for us, he's going to come out with his own whiskey line called Notorious.
Wow.
And it's Irish whiskey that looked delicious.
Hey,
Well, I hope you enjoyed McGregor because you only probably have like 2 more times you'll ever see the guy inside an octagon.
well, yeah, I want to ask you about that real quick. Do you think now it's going to be whenever he fights, he has so much leverage, now it's going to be the UFC and McGregor Promotions prevent UFC blah, blah, blah featuring Conor McGregor? Will the UFC go that far for this guy? To cope?
Well,
to cope him up?
not only him, but his opponents, Nate Diaz is asking $20 to $30 million.
But I mean,
it's not just him. It's who else is going to win this lottery ticket?
but
Conor McGregor.
I mean, as
because
far as
he's
like,
only going to fight for.
but as far as like McGregor Promotions on the poster in the octagon, like a co like 50-50, not like a big payday. Because I think that's what McGregor wants. He wants his name. He kept saying like, "Oh, it's so cool to see my name on the ring." So do you think the UFC will bend over backwards and say, "Hey, okay, you know what? Every time you fight, will be UFC and McGregor Promotions presents UFC 270."
Of course, unless Dana White wants to give 1% of his company away to Conor McGregor, which is not going to happen.
Yeah, because then every fighter deserves that.
That's the only way to get away from that. Because imagine that then all of a sudden all these fighters, they're again Conor McGregor is the only one from this exception, but you never know who's the next coming person does the exact same thing.
Yeah. All right, this is round number 4. We're going to come back and look at UFC 215, preview the double title fights for that card come this Saturday, so don't go anywhere. Before we do that, let's give a big shout-out to one of our great partners, one of our great friends over at FiveRoundMMA.com, the only place where you'll find real combat sports news from all over the world, a website you can trust with accurate news from MMA, kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai. It's all there under one roof. They cover everything from local promotions to the major ones, UFC, Bellator, No, Guillermo, what kind of bundle are you playing, man?
What? Oh, sorry. It's just Spotify. You know how us Mexicans do.
I like your playlist. It's all there. King of the Caves, Golden Boy Promotions. It's all
I don't
under
listen
one
to that.
roof. Lion Fight. That's a great podcast section of great combat sports podcasts as well. Just bookmark it. Go there every day. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's FightBookMMA.com. 5th and final round coming up next. Welcome back. 5th and final round. UFC 215. Johnson versus Borg will take place on September 9th, Saturday. At the Rogers Center in
I'm actually
Alberta,
excited about this card.
Canada.
Believe it or not.
Actually, yeah, look at it,
guys.
man.
Believe it or
You're
not, I am
excited to see
pumped
Amanda
about
Nunes.
this
I knew
card.
it, Albert.
Event.
Amanda Nunes fan in quiet.
So look at Amanda Mouse versus Ray Borg in the main event. Women's bantamweight championship bout. Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko. Neil Magny versus Rafael Dos Anjos. Ilir Latif versus Tyson Pedro. And then Jeremy Stevens versus Gilbert Melendez round off the main card. But also on the prelims, you have Sarah McMahon. Henry Cejudo versus Wilson Reyes. Get Ashley Evans Smith on this mother. Yeah, pretty good card, top to bottom, I think. Something for everybody. A lot of a good mix between women's mixed martial arts and the men's side. But now it's becoming just one now. So now I think I like that fact that women's. It's not like it's just part of the. Every card should have a couple women's fights on it, so I like that.
Want me to tackle this beast first?
Which one?
Let me tell you how pumped I am about this card. First of all, I'm super pumped. I thought even though with all the craziness that's been going around this card, I love it. One, for the first time in a long time, I'm gonna go against Demetrius Johnson, and I am all board for Ray Borg.
The Tasmanian
I don't like
Devil.
I don't like the way Mighty Man's handled the situation with the thing. I think as a fan, that kind of irritated me that he took away such a wonderful matchup. I thought it was gonna be something up there in the UFC history books if they would have got that fight done against Cody or TJ Dillashaw.
TJ.
And as a fan, you took that away from me, and that leaves me very salty. And I got all my money, all my basket on Ray Borg because I'm so salty. And let's keep the sodium levels high, guys, because then again, Amanda Nunes then went and took away a bout that I was looking forward to a couple of months ago, and I wanted to see a new champion. She took that away from me as a fan, and now the sodium levels even higher, which irritates me. Let's keep the sodium levels too high, dog.
Okay.
I'm about to get a diabetes attack up in here. Rafael Dos Anjos had the audacity to, instead of when a guy goes out there, gives it his all and performs, instead of giving him kudos, doesn't matter if you don't get along with the guy, you gotta give some respect. And he gave no respect to Conor McGregor. I thought he looked like the fool for what he tweeted out. And now I'm really pulling for
Neil
Magny to really put it on him, and not just put it on him. I want him to finish standing up. And I would keep going on because I got some beef over there with the German Stevens and Gilbert Melendez. And my girl Sarah McMahon is fighting, and Henry Cejudo, but I'll leave it there. I'll give some time for Guillermo and you.
Yeah, pretty much like a half an hour after McGregor lost to Mayweather, Rafael Dos Anjos posted a photo of their face-off when they had the press conference and said, he called him a chicken heart and he wants to fight again, even though he had a fight coming up. It makes no sense at all, but whatever.
Let's see where you at.
Guillermo, Ray Borg, Taz Mexican Devil, people don't ever give anybody against Demetrius Johnson a shot. Do you think Ray Borg can do some to change people's opinions about that?
No, I mean, Albert makes it so easy. I wish we kept records of our picks because I'm gonna go opposite of everything Albert just said.
I hope you do, because I'm gonna go on this card,
probably
guys.
The greatest.
I'll eat my words. The next FiveRoundMMA, I'm gonna get a perfect on this card, top to bottom, left to right.
You have a flyweight that's the best pound for pound champion currently, and you have him losing to somebody. I mean, Matt Serra versus GSP could always happen. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
did you just
this guy has the
Ray
opportunity
Borg right now. You Matt Serra, Ray Borg right now. Did you just do that? Just really happened.
Just feel the motivation of what Demetrius Johnson has for this fight. He has an opportunity to pass Anderson Silva and be alone at the top. I mean, I don't know what else would motivate me to get away from the TJ Dillashaw.
Everyone was passing him up, put him as a side piece. Freaking not good enough.
The only person that didn't pass him up was Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah.
The only person that didn't pass him up was Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius Johnson actually sees him as a threat. That's what he took. He didn't take the TJ Dillashaw up, and he asked for Ray Borg.
Mighty Mouse wanted this Ray Borg fight because Mighty Mouse thinks this is an easy fight. Mighty Mouse thinks this is how he's going to break records. That's why. Let's keep it real. And Ray Borg knows it.
Heavy words, my friend.
Let's not underline theme. Ray Borg knows that Mighty Mouse was only encouraging that because he thought it was the easier fight. But guess what? My boy Ray Borg now is going to make sure ain't no easy fight. I got Ray Borg all the way.
Some heavy words, and Guillermo just got dropped his conversation because he's so mad about that. What kind of concerns me about Ray Borg is that he's actually missed weight twice in his UFC career, and he's also on a 2-win streak. But I feel
when it's these big fights, these championship fights, they pull it all together.
Yeah.
I think the weight issue is not going to be a big problem, which that was one of my big criticisms on before. But I really do think he's going to come in championship weight. I think he has a good little build up leading up to this fight. I see nothing but good stuff.
Also, the co-main event, one of the great points that Joe Rogan said, this is probably the highest.
Please leave your message for
highest level women's bout, I think, in the UFC history, where they're both so skilled. Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko. That I agree 100% with Joe Rogan that these are the highest level women's bout in UFC history. And I really think Shevchenko can take this fight this time.
Yeah.
Neil Magny versus Rafael Dos Anjos. I think Neil Magny always surprises people when he's an underdog. I think he'll take that one. I'm excited about Jeremy Seasons versus Gilbert Melendez. Hopefully that's a battle. Sarah McMahon always. Henry Cejudo versus Wilson Hayes. I think that's the backup fight, right? Just in case.
Yeah.
Like you always said, it's always maybe they thought, Ray Borg missed weight twice already. Let's have Henry Cejudo and Hudson Reyes back in here just in case. But
Just in case.
This is a good card from top to bottom. A good way to introduce people back. Now we had the whole month of August belonged to Mayweather and McGregor. We had the fight on Saturday in the UFC Fight Pass. Now we're coming back to the pay-per-view, coming back to 2 championship bouts. Hardcore fans should really appreciate this. It's almost a reward for people being the hardcore fans being patient with the whole McGregor Mayweather situation. So UFC 215 Saturday, September 9th, the Rogers Center in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Available on pay-per-view, Fight Pass. I think they're on the Fight TV app now as well, right?
There are a bunch of stuff. You can order it through YouTube if you want.
Yeah, if you want to. So it's all there for your viewing pleasure. Keep an eye out for our picks. We got to do that the day of the fight, so we can see who actually won. It looks like we lost Guillermo Connection. He's out there in the Great National Park somewhere in Georgia, but I want to thank him for calling him in, taking time away from his family to talk MMA with us and argue and debate. That's until next week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, and YouTube. Like us on Facebook and visit FiveRoundMMA.com. Also, we have a great interview. I want to thank you to Nolan Hernandez last week for a great interview.
One of the best interviews I think we've ever had.
Yeah, and also this Wednesday or tomorrow or this Wednesday dropping. I'm not because we had the holiday coming up this week, so our schedule's a little mixed up. But this week we have an interview with Jerry, the Mountain Bandera, huge heavyweight, 6-1 record. So he gets a pretty insight on his stuff. So make sure to follow, catch that interview this week. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied. But Jared, the Mountain Bandera, dropping this week as well. But I want to thank everybody for listening. Albert, what do you got?
Just want to thank everybody for listening, even you boxing snubs out there.
Have a good one, everyone.